ROCKNA, ir-rock tagħna l-Maltin.
Qed nagħdu bidu għall-edizzjoni oħra tal-programm ROCKNA l-appuntament tagħna u tagħkom max-xena tar-rock f'Malta.
Radio 101.
Wearing my high boots, got all my world needs here in a sack. Looking for something, knowing that it ain't here where I'm at. Ain't turning back, I'm coming. Ride by thumbing, get by strumming. And I'm on my way. Friend, have you seen Glory Road? Say, friend, I got a heavy load, and I know Glory Road's waiting for me. Caught me a pickup down from Seattle through to L.A. Seems like those folks go chasing a new star every day. And I'm on my way, Nevada, through Wyoming, Colorado, and I'm on my way. Have you seen Glory Road? Say, friend, I got a heavy load, and I know Glory Road's waiting for me. I met so many others. They wanted to know which way to go. Louisiana, New York City, they wanted the answers, and they'd ask of me, friend, have you seen Glory Road? Say, friend, I got a heavy load, and I know Glory Road's waiting for me. Rest my load, now I know Glory Road is right here in me.
Lura fl-studios ta' Radio 101, tini parti tal-program ROCKNA tal-lum fejn ħanitkellmu ma' David Sherry u miegħu fl-studios magħna għandi wkoll il-Candy Davider. Did I say it right?
You did it just
right. I did, right. So David and Candy, welcome to ROCKNA. Minna u l-qoddim naturalment se nitkellmu bl-Inglis. David jifhem daqsxejn bil-Malti, pero Candy ma tifhemx bil-Malti għalhekk se ngħaddu għall-lingwa Ingliża. You know, so obviously we'll do this in English, so you can be part of it as well. Right, David, about a year ago, we had you on the show.
Yeah.
You, along with Cece as well, was here with us, and we spoke about your story, your connection to Malta, the way you got into music. So, for the benefit of those listeners who perhaps missed that edition of ROCKNA back then, a quick run through your connection to Malta and why it remains special to you to this day.
Well, I had to start off bil-Malti. Jina għandi dem Maltin, u Albi Malti, ukoll. I don't speak so great, but my grandfather, Nannu T.I. Twila Belt, and immigrated to the United States before the Depression. My aunt was born there, and then the Depression.
Your grandfather was Maltese born, but the rest of the family was U.S. born, but
was US born.
Maltese raised.
Yes,
I suppose.
And so my dad came here when he was a kid, and so he always said someday we'll come to Malta. And when I was 15 years old, he brought us to Malta. I knew Tini Bossa,
You got a couple of words. You got a few words.
And I'm going to be asking that this Sunday on Ahla Tabasima.
Yes, of course. That's one of the reasons as well. We're doing this interview as well, is to promote this concert you'll be giving on Sunday. But before that, your time in Malta, you mentioned that you came to Malta for, it was a very brief time that you spent in Malta.
About 3.5 years total.
And during those years, they were very formative for you.
Oh my goodness. I think everything I'm doing in my life now and much of what I believe in was inspired by the Teens and 20s Talent Trust, a group called the 40s.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people know about it. And my first stages, my first audiences, my first applause, my first taste of Il Palc, it was in Malta. And I found something very special. There was a certain camaraderie, and we nurtured each other. We believed in Maltese talent, and so many of these people from the 40s, Vanny Poulet, Frederick Testa, Charles Faltzon's an actor, Yvonne Shikluna, she's on television, Ray Bayada on the radio. So many of us have made careers in entertainment because of this.
And still around as well.
And are still around.
Still around, which is good. It's not just they made careers and stopped somewhere, but they're still active now, which is a very good thing. And obviously
Greenfields, my goodness.
as well, of course, we can't leave the Greenfields out as well. And it's been a year, and I'm guessing it's been a busy year for you.
It's been a crazy year. Mijnoon.
So since you left Malta the last time, what's been going on with David Cherry? What's been going on with Diamond is Forever, which is, after all, the show that you work the most on?
Absolutely. The Diamond is Forever show is what's really brought me to fame in the United States.
Obviously, Candy's here with us. She's part
Candy's
of the show.
a big part. Candy is one of my main singers. Her and Cece provide, so many bands, the backup singers are just backup. Lower volume. They play a part like any instrument. I think a lot of musicians value how important that is. But in the instance of the music that I'm doing, their voices are such an integral part. It would be like, without them, I would be missing my lead guitar or my drummer. So they really play such an important part of my overall sound, and they give me the wind that I can just fall backwards and float. And when you've got voices like that, it doesn't matter if you go a little flat or get a little pitchy.
They pick you up there.
They'll pick you right up. So I'm really happy to have her here in
Well,
Malta.
she's smiling, so it must be true.
I'm happy to be here.
It's your first time in Malta,
Yes,
Candy,
it
isn't it?
is.
So,
It's beautiful.
it's been good weather as well, so it's
Yes.
that always helps.
Mhm.
I mean,
Well, in Maltese we say merhaba, which means
Merhaba.
welcome.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
and it's great having you on the show as well. It's a pity Cece couldn't be with us as well today. With
Yes.
all the more.
Well, she's here on the island,
Yeah,
but
she'll be performing as well.
she'll be performing on Sunday.
on Sunday. So the past year. So give us a
Yes,
quick run through of what's been going on.
well,
I mean,
I came-
obviously you've been performing with the Diamond is Forever
Yes.
show.
Well, I came to Malta specifically this past fall to release my CD here first. So then when
Which
I
is the
returned,
track we listened to
the
earlier.
track we just listened to is one of the tracks, and we went back to the States and then released it in the United States. Had our official CD release in August after we returned, and so it's been really a lot of work on promotional. We just wanted to get the CD out, and then we had spent quite a bit of time shooting our first music video for the album, the Glory Road title track, and we were going to be releasing it. But something else exploded. There's a major motion picture being made, a documentary.
Hold your horses right
Yes.
there, because I know
We'll go
when
to one thing
when
to the
David
next.
and I get talking,
Oh, Ian.
we don't stop. So you mentioned the video. In fact, I was going to ask you about that a bit later, but since you brought it up now, I know the video, you started filming it while you were going through
Yes.
different countries and filming different clips and footage and
From
everywhere.
Las Vegas and Hollywood.
So the concept behind that was obviously tied to the fact that the song's called Glory Road. I think there's something there, isn't there?
And also the idea that everybody started somewhere. It's about a man with a humble dream, a little bit of talent, and a lot of guts. And he goes out to find this Glory Road, and my Glory Road started here. So we decided that we really wanted to shoot part of the video here in Malta, and decided since we were in Europe, we'd also shoot in London, Amsterdam, places that
Anywhere you stop along the way, really.
and in the United States, in Nevada, Colorado, Utah, of course California, and the actual place where the cover of the CD was shot. We shot some video there also to tell this story.
So
of
basically,
Glory Road.
all ties everything together, and this one video will tie everything together, like
Yes.
what's behind the Glory Road
And that's why it's
song
so
itself.
very special to me to be back in Malta, because this is really where my Glory Road began. And to come back, I know Maltese people are very proud when somebody with Maltese heritage has found a success abroad. And so it's exciting to come back. I've achieved a lot of things on my bucket list, but some of the most exciting have been to come back, spend time with people like you. The beautiful article that you wrote about my CD, it was like my mother wrote it. Thank goodness, because I really enjoy being in Malta and having this full circle that's come on this Glory Road.
Right, and obviously with Diamond is Forever, you've been doing some performances also during the year.
Yes, we have, and I think really I put so much focus. I needed a little bit of time off. When I started the band in 2005, I just really haven't taken a break. I'm glad that my drug of choice is music, because I'm very addicted. And it gives me great pleasure.
But yet again, you still need to take a break from it
And
sometimes, I
hadn't.
suppose.
I took, at the beginning of the year after returning from Malta in November, which was my second visit in 1 year, I took a few months off just to decompress. I wanted to find out what direction I wanted to go in. And I wanted to make some changes in the band personnel. There are a few players that, it was time for them to do, they wanted to do some of their own original music or do other projects, and it was just time to cut some of them.
So there's
free.
also been some lineup changes
So
in the
there's
band
been some
as well.
lineup changes, a new guitar player and some things like that were really exciting. So it was fun to be back in the rehearsal room, back kind of at the beginning and working the songs again. And so it's been a really exciting year, getting a little bit of time off and kind of looking at what my next 10 years are going to be. Really, it was about taking some time to look at what am I doing next.
Plan out the
And
next.
on that note, we will be going into the studio again in the next number of months, as soon as we get the financing together, to do some original songs. I'm not a songwriter.
In fact, I'll ask you about that.
Yeah.
After we
So,
go
there you
to, we have an ad break. We have another song coming up from the album. But before that, obviously, the song we heard, people who perhaps are not familiar with Neil Diamond's music, that Glory Road was a Neil Diamond song, but it was sung there. The version we played was actually yours, David. The show you do, Diamond is Forever, is all about the music of Neil Diamond.
Absolutely.
But conveyed through you, the way you feel it, I suppose, with the rest of your band, and the touch you give it, the interpretation you give it. The listeners perhaps might confuse it with, we get too many tribute shows here. Why is this not a tribute show?
Well, when I started, I realized I wanted to do Neil Diamond's music, and about a decade ago, the only venue was what used to be called in Las Vegas an impersonator. That idea just repulsed me. I'm a musician, I'm a singer, I sing from my heart. And then this idea started coming, some of the better bands like the ABBA bands and the Australian Pink Floyd show, per exemple.
Which I don't think is a tribute at all, actually.
Not at all a
It's
tribute.
quite a good...
And unfortunately, they were still stuck with having to use that label, because how do you explain something that doesn't exist, really, if it doesn't have a name? So I started realizing that people wanted that Australian Pink Floyd band that was playing the music, that it was about the music, that it wasn't just about copying, that it was about finding your own breath of life that you can breathe into it as a musician, which is what the audience wants. They want to feel that live music. And I got really lucky, because early on I walked out, and of course a Vegas person wanted me to come out and say, "Hi, I'm Neil Diamond, and I wrote this song in 1966 and it's called Solitary Man." Well, I'm an actor. I started off as an actor. I didn't have a problem with that. I didn't mind the costumes. I didn't mind the hair. But about 2 songs in, I just said, stop just a moment. I just want to tell you something. My name is David Sherry, and I'm a Neil Diamond fan. And from that moment, I realized that's the story I had to tell. The first 45 I ever bought was Sweet Caroline. And it was the first time a song made me realize that a writer, particularly a songwriter, could take words and music and meld it into something that could make me feel. And I felt something. I felt something very strong. I wanted to grow up. Touching me, touching you sounded great. I wanted, but I got it. And so I realized I wanted to bring that to my stage show. And that's what I said. Hey, everybody, I'm not an impersonator, number one. Okay, I'm wearing the costumes. We've got the smoke and lights. I'm a Neil Diamond fan like you are, and the reason I'm doing this is because I really love this music. And I put together a really great band. And I hope that at best we do justice to this great man's music. But if you go home and there's even one song that I've really moved you with, or maybe you've gotten another interpretation that I've done my job, and I got off stage and my manager, Cece, said, that's it. No more tribute shows per se, even though we have to call it that. Certainly no more impersonator shows, because you're no impersonator. And it allowed me, it freed me up to sing those songs from my heart as David Sherry. So I could tell the story. Hey, the first time Neil wrote this song, and it wasn't the first time I wrote the song. People don't want to be fooled. You know,
there's also the fact that you can, since you can relate to the music of Neil Diamond so much, even throughout your life, being since his music has been part of your life for so long. Even I don't know if you do this because I haven't seen the performance yet, but I've seen parts of it on the internet, and but you can also, I suppose, put yourself and how that music related to you personally as David Cherry and along the way, not just all right, you're still doing a Neil Diamond, the music is still from Neil Diamond's songbook, but
it opened up when I made that change and realized that, and the bookers were saying, well, we can't book you because nobody wants this. They want, and I fought it because I thought, I don't believe it. I believe people would like to hear this, and I'm really glad that when I get 8,000 people at an auditorium or something that I've proven that. I find great satisfaction in that. But it set me free because as David Sherry, those songs were the soundtrack of my life. So I remember, I was getting a divorce when Love on the Rocks came out. Wow, I can sing on Love on the Rocks and make you cry because I bring that feeling I have about the music. And I'm not so busy, if I say, Cracklin' Rosie, get it, and I sound more like Neil. I don't have to worry about that. I sound a lot like Neil naturally, but I don't have to try to. It allows me just to sing as David Sherry and bring that real side to it. So it's really
there's just a similarity.
It's been unusual. It was serendipity. I had no idea what I was doing, but somehow I found my way. And I think that's why people say, well, why would I buy an album with 16 songs that Neil Diamond recorded? Well, because you're going to hear them in a different way. And if you like his music, you're going to love this because it's close enough that I'm not destroying it, but at the same time,
you're not just doing straightforward covers.
Because I would just as soon listen to Neil Diamond's Sweet Caroline if that were the case than my own version. Of
course, I know what you mean. Before we go to the ad break, Candy, you and Neil Diamond's music, before you came on board Diamond is Forever, were you already familiar with Neil Diamond's music?
Yes, I was.
Or with David Cherry at all?
Well, not David Cherry. First, I was in a dance festival, and part of the festival there was a song called America.
Yeah.
And that was the only song that we all got to contribute to. And it had an impact on me because everyone in the stadium, it was at the Rose Bowl, we danced to it with such fervor.
Big occasion, eh?
Yes, it was a big occasion. We danced to it with such fervor that it shook me to my core. And it became one of my favorite songs, next to Holly Holy, of course.
So that was your introduction to Neil Diamond.
It was my introduction,
and you pursued that.
I never forgot it.
So, it's the way life works out, you end up playing Neil Diamond, singing Neil Diamond songs along with David.
I had no idea what she would bring to my band. The joy of her voice, her stage presence along with Cece, it reminded me of the Beatles where they were all having fun and you wanted to be a part of that. Well, when you see Cece and Candy on stage doing harmony to my voice, you feel the joy coming from them, the party, come on, they're like my cheerleaders. So they had a really special part to our sound.
And I suppose that helps as well because the original numbers of the original versions also have that important element in them.
It's very much the way they're arranged. The feel of Neil. Yeah.
So if you leave that out, you'll be doing them an injustice as well, I suppose.
And interestingly enough, a lot of the others that do this also, that's in my judgment the area that they miss. They may have backup singers, but they're not up front. I have my singers up front because they are such a big part vocally.
Well, we enjoy it.
Yeah,
really
we do, don't we?
Yes, we put breath in it. We love what we do, and we have fun, and it just comes out.
And I wanted a little more soul in my band, too. Neil's got some soul in his band, and she brings that soul from her heart.
Yes, it's true. Thank you.
Right. So, on that note, we're going to the ad break and come back with one more song, and we'll be playing a couple more, I think, later on. But first, the ad break. Back with David Cherry and Candy Davida on ROCKNA after this.
Radio 101.
Għal dan l-istaġun ta' Trade Fair, Oxford House qed joffrulek l-akbar rocks fuq domestic appliances, kċejjen u bedrooms. Oxford House l-imrieħeb, miftuħin il-ġurnata kollha.
Tibda l-kompetizzjoni li ser trebbaħ li xi ħadd 1000 euro cash fuq Radio 101. Ipparteċipa billi tirreġistra d-dettalji tiegħek fuq is-sit maltadealsforyou.com. Filgħodu isma' lil George Gallia fuq il-Breakfast Show u wara nofsinhar lil Martin Sapjano fuq The Big Show biex tikkompeti. The Radio 101 maltadealsforyou.com 1001 euros cash prize. Irbaħ rigali sbieħ man-Nazzjon kull ġimgħa. Ibgħat SMS fuq in-numru li jidher fl-ewwel paġna tan-Nazzjon b'ismek u kuljomok. Kull SMS jiswa €16.
Lourdes, post ta' tranquillità, paċi u spiritualità, imdawwar minn xenarji mill-isbaħ tal-Muntanji Pirinej. Kull sena miljuni ta' pellegrini mid-dinja kollha iżuru dan il-post b'devozzjoni kbira lejn il-Madonna ta' Lourdes. Jekk intu kol tixtieq li jkollok esperjenza mill-isbaħ f'Lourdes, il-Eurotours tistiednek biex dan is-sajf tingħaqad ma' wieħed mill-14 il-pellegrinaġġ li se torganizza bejn Lulju u Settembru. Għal aktar informazzjoni żur il-website www.eurotours.com.mt jew ċemplinna fuq 2596 5555.
The Compass Lounge, Tower Road, Sliema.
Għandek proprjetà għal-kiri jew għal-beħ? Tixtieq tikri jew tbiegħ malajr? Jekk għandek ħanut jew uffiċċju jew garaż, villa, dar, farmhouse jew penthouse, jew mezzonate jew appartament u tixtieq tbiegħ jew tikri malajr? Xem bil-qessa 79555535 binnirealestate.com.
Radio 101.
In the dead of the night, holy sun gonna rise in the sky. Touch a man who can't walk upright, and that lame man, he gonna fly. And I fly, and I fly. Holly, holy tree, wanting only you. Where I am, what I am, what I believe in. Holly, holy. Sing a song. Sing a song of songs. Sing it out. Sing it strong. Yeah. Call the sun in the dead of the night. Holy sun gonna rise in the sky. Touch a man who can't walk upright, and that lame man, he gonna fly. And I fly, and I fly. let it be filled with tomorrow. Holly, holy, sing a song, sing a song of songs, sing it out, sing a song, oh yeah, yeah. Call the sun in the dead of the night, holy sun gonna rise in the sky. Touch a man who can't walk upright, and that lame man, he gonna fly, and I fly, and I fly. Holly, holy tree, dream of only you. Holly, holy sun, holly, holy rain, holly, holy love, holly, holy love.
Holy Holy Emmek mela silta waħra mill-album Glory Road ta' David Cherry dem il-pinna ta' Neil Diamond l-interpretazzjoni ta' David Cherry u l-band tiegħu il-band li flimkien magħha jagħmel diversi shows partikolarment fl-Istati Uniti taħt l-isem ta' Diamond is Forever. So back to David and Candy with us in the studio. David, earlier you mentioned that
Michael, scusi, jekk jogħġbok, you have to let me do this. We're ROCKNA with Michael Bugeja on ROCKNA. No, we're rocking with Michael. I just had to do that.
All right.
I'm sorry. I got that out of my system now.
You were thinking about that when we were off air.
I was.
Right. You mentioned earlier you had, during this past year, there's been a couple of, not apart from the performances, a couple of things that have been taking up a lot of your time. But I know you've been mentioned in a book. You said something about a book. So tell me a bit about this. First of all, the book is about Neil Diamond, obviously.
Yes, it is. It's called My Neil Diamond Experience, and it's by Ambrose O'Shea. And he wrote this in memory of his wife. The Matter Foundation in Dublin take care of people when they're in hospice and whatnot. So he donated the proceeds of this book to the Matter Foundation. But it's about his experience in life, seeing Neil Diamond on the Johnny Cash show in 1970, and how Neil Diamond's music and collecting his music and memorabilia not only became a part of his life and his family, but he includes me in the book because he came all the way from Ireland and got quite a bit of press back in 2007 to see one of my amphitheater shows. And so I brought him on stage, so he's a little bit of an icon as a fan in the Neil Diamond world.
And so obviously, because
so it's exciting to be in a book to see.
It must be quite an impact that Neil Diamond's music has had on him for him to actually write a book about it, and obviously not only Neil Diamond but also the various other musicians who have performed Neil Diamond's songbook, including yourself.
Yes.
And for this Mr. O'Shea to actually go traveling all over the place to pursue his passion.
Yes, yes. Well, he says that his job in life is to promote all things Neil Diamond. And when Neil Diamond's not touring, he thinks the next best thing is to see somebody like myself that's performing Neil's music. And I was quite honored to think that somebody would travel over 7,000 miles round trip to see me.
Most definitely. And when you met Ambrose, what was the first, I mean, not on the stage itself, but perhaps off stage as well?
Actually, I thought that this guy came all the way from Ireland. I am going to personally pick him up at the airport and give him the VIP treatment. And we went and had a drink at the bar. Was terribly shocked that he decided to drink American Budweiser and said that's what they drink in Ireland. I was expecting a nice Guinness stout or something, but good guy. And his daughter he named Caroline.
We all know why as well. Most certainly. There's also a movie that you're involved in. What about that? What's going on?
This is really exciting. An American director and producer named Steve Titone is producing a documentary about tribute artists, but it's going to specifically talk about Neil Diamond tribute artists, or not so much tribute artists, but people that have a passion or a drive to sing Neil Diamond. And I've been asked to be one of the principal leads, and they'll be filming parts of one of my concert for the film, as well as an interview, and guess where he's decided he would like to interview David J. Sherry on the lovely island of Malta. So we'll be back in October. You're hearing it first on ROCKNA. And
an exclusive,
we'll be shooting part of the Play Me motion picture documentary here in Malta, my interview.
Great, that's great news.
And we're hoping actually to have an opening here, maybe up the road too.
As well, but I think the movie will be completed at a later stage, obviously.
Certainly probably about 12, 24 months, isn't that usually the...
Yeah, kind of. Well, it depends how far into it he's already with perhaps the other parts of the movie.
He started his filming. He's going to be filming in Ireland, Brazil, Canada, all over. It's really cool.
Yeah, it sounds cool. It sounds interesting as well. I'm looking forward to find out more about it from you. Obviously, not necessarily on air, but off air we'll probably be talking about it
it's
a little bit
I
more.
released a studio album. I was featured in a book, which has never happened before. I've been asked to be in a motion picture now. I have done television and radio. What's next for me, Michael?
I don't know. I'd say
we'll have to talk about
I
that
do.
off
I
the
do
air.
know there is something that you still need to do, and that's we'll be talking about that in just a little bit. But you mentioned also that you'll be going back into the studio later this year and working on original songs. And I actually had planned to ask you this. In between all these Diamond is Forever commitments and all the things Neil Diamond related, do you ever find time to actually work on original material, or is it too difficult to fit it in?
You know, it's difficult to fit it in, but I've been keeping my guitar out all the time, and I started playing some Cat Stevens, Father and Son, Peace Train, things that I did when I was in Malta, Zazu. I really enjoyed that. My God, I started doing Linhabba u Hanharis Lake Tavani u Marianne. It's things I'd learned when I was in Malta, and
you actually did that in Maltese,
as
well.
Yeah.
Now that's an interesting prospect.
Okay, we want them to buy my record, not burn it. So I'll stick it to English.
Yeah. Well, with a little bit more training, we'll get there.
We'll get there. I'd like to. You know what? If I would like to do a couple of Maltese songs too. But yeah, there are a few songs. There are a few other artists. I would like to do songs. I'd like to do a Simon and Garfunkel song. I'd love to do a Cat Stevens song. There's a handful of songs I'd love to give my own interpretation to, and completely different instrumentation or approach than just a tribute type of feel where it has to be a little bit more in line.
Kind of like what, let's say, Johnny Cash did to the covers he did, like Hurt, Personal Jesus.
Personal Jesus. Exactly. That's
that kind
really
of thing, Rusty Cage.
what I'd like to do. And also there are a few songwriters that have been presenting me with some original songs that have never been heard that I can put my 100% my own mark on. So that's in the works. It's a little bit more difficult. Well, heck, it's...
So what you'll be working on essentially would be original numbers, though. So that's something under... Really, I mean, even the Glory Road album is under David Cherry, but this would be a David Cherry, real David Cherry.
Well, I'm not a songwriter. I am a lyricist.
Yeah, but that's still part of the songwriting effort, isn't it? So you'll be working with someone on writing original compositions.
I have been submitted a couple of completed songs that are original. They're me. I could have written them, and so I feel I could really give them my interpretation. And original in that, nobody's ever heard.
No, I mean original as in exactly. So, that doesn't have to be something I actually wrote yourself, but I mean stuff that's not been out before, that you're recording for the first time, perhaps. You're doing the original version of.
Yes.
So to speak.
We're taking the piece of clay and forming it into the
So
this
there
sculpture.
will be an album in the works along these.
Yes,
will
absolutely.
that be done also with the band members from the Diamond is
Sure.
Forever team? Or?
Yes, and that's part of my bringing in some new band members as this transition's occurred with us, because I want people that really do enjoy being in the studio and want to be part of this new process, some of these next horizons that we have, some of these next roads we're taking.
Right. The one big reason as well we're here to talk about, besides all these other things that we've spoken about already, is obviously ROCKNA Besima, your performance on Sunday, this Sunday actually, a couple of days' time.
Yes.
And that's going to be in Hamrun, I think, or
It's in Santa
Santa
Venera,
Venera. Well, close enough.
across from the petrol station.
Well, but that's something that's also going to be broadcast on all the national stations, I
It
believe,
will,
as well.
starting at 8 o'clock with my performance. It'll be on TV Malta 2.
All of them.
All of them. All
Net,
whatever it
Net
chased-
TV,
yes.
One TV.
How
the
exciting.
whole-
You can't
So-
turn away unless you want to put in a video.
You can get away from you.
Well, on that note, Michael, about ROCKNA Besima, I always joke that when I came to Malta, I knew 3 phrases. Yinen hobok, tini bosa, utini flus. And that's why I'm here. I'm going to be asking the Maltese people, yak yojbok, tini flus. Give me some
Obviously
of your money.
not for yourself, but for the cause.
For these missionaries, these Maltese people that are in Peru, the Philippines. They're bringing a smile. They're creating a smile for people, for children that don't have a reason to smile.
Yeah.
And so I really ask them to give generously. I'm coming. I've donated my airfares, hotels, expenses, the band's expenses, because I felt that this year that this was something that I would like to give back to. This is where I got my start, and it was the first opportunity for me to give back to Malta, and certainly helping Maltese missionaries is wonderful for me.
Well, obviously, there's that side of the performance is obviously good to be promoting and helping to raise funds for this noble cause, but also in some way also it also gives you the opportunity. I know you've performed before at ROCKNA Besima, but just on your own, I believe. No, a couple of songs. So this would be like also a good occasion for you to present your music, what you do, what David Cherry has been about all these years. At least a small taste of it, I think, for 1 hour only.
And there'll be a little bit of talking. They're going to interview me a little bit, but it'll be a good 40 minutes of music. I'll be doing about 10 songs. And, and we've got a portion of the band. We will have some of the band on playback, so it'll be a little difficult. We haven't done that before where we're doing it half live and half, but obviously
because obviously the full band isn't here, so there's going to be...
It's pretty big, so there'll be 4 of us.
Yeah, so,
but they'll all be present. You will be hearing them play also, and
but it's like you said, it's going to be half live, half playback. It is a bit of a challenge, I suppose. If you have to think a couple of more seconds about it, and it's going to take some better
I'm going to have to
coordination.
follow them instead of them following me.
Yeah, well, sometimes you want to try things different, don't you?
Sure. Well, it allowed us to come and do a mini concert and give the Maltese people a taste of what we'd like to do here in Malta.
Yeah, in fact, that's what my last question is.
Oh no!
And that was actually what I was referring to earlier on. What you asked me, what else is left to do, I think what's left to do is to actually have Diamond is Forever, the full production of Diamond is Forever, staged in Malta.
Yes.
I think that's something that you've been wanting to do as well. We've spoken about this before, and
we talked quite a bit, and I thank you so much for all of your data about the Malta music scene. Truly, you are Il Sultan tal Malta music scene. Freddie Portelli may be Il Sultan tal rock and roll,
yeah, he is.
but
let
me see.
There he is. It's a new album. We'll be playing a track very soon off
How do you say that?
as well. J Il Maltemp.
J coming.
Il Maltemp.
Il Maltemp. All right, Tayyip.
The storm is
Yinen hobok Freddie.
Of course, you know Freddie as well. You've met
Habiti,
before. We'll be playing a
I'm
song
proud
off
to
his
say.
album as well very soon. But so the plans are still on to have a full-on production. I mean, it's still there. That dream is still there.
Absolutely.
And you're still working hard towards it.
And we're still working hard to make it happen. We would really like to do it at a large venue, like at the Graineries or MFCC or something, where we could really do the kind of production we do in the United States. I want to bring them the big American Diamond is Forever show with David Sherry like I do there. And so I'm fingers crossed we're going to make it happen, Michael.
Cool, that's good. So I wish you the best of luck with that happening, also for myself, because I'll be there. That's for sure. And of course, I hope you have a great performance on Sunday as well.
Thank you.
And the rest of the visit on the island as well. Great time. Next few days. Where I don't know how long you're staying for, but
Andy gets a few days, and I'm here till the 28th.
Right. So
and if you like the songs Michael's playing, you can get me downtown at D'Amato's.
Yeah, I think D'Amato has your album.
The
available.
first record store in Malta opened in 1885.
There's got a lot of history to it.
And in 1972, when I had very little money, I would go until they would almost want to drive me out because I would look at every single album. And finally they'd say, "Are you going to buy something? If not, more."
Get out. But yeah, I suppose we've all been in that situation.
Oh, the smell of vinyl used to just,
I think. And the vinyl's back, so
yeah, it is.
Perhaps. And future plans after you go, when you go back. I mean, I know you're going to be recording the album. Anything else that's
Well, we immediately go into a couple of concerts. We've got our fall concert season. We do. We'll be doing a concert September 27th, debuting the new band. Much new.
Yeah, well,
not rock.
The new lineup.
New lineup.
The lineup as it is now.
And we were going to release the Glory Road video, but the producer of the Playbee movie asked if we could just hold up on that. Because he'd like to somehow include that with and coincide something to do with the motion picture. So,
which makes sense, obviously.
Yes.
So obviously we were waiting from last year to see where it's going to be, but it's going to have to be postponed a little bit more, I suppose. But anyway, I'm sure there's updates that people can browse on the website there, which is your website.
You can find me on my website, which is David J. Sherry, Mushmalti, Xerri, Sherry, Palta Brandy, DavidJSherryProductions.com. You can find me on Facebook at
and I think there's a Diamond is Forever as well.
Diamond is Forever Band, as well as just Yin, David J. Sherry, Sherry.
And there'll be updates all over the place anyway.
All over the place. And of course, you can see me on the ROCKNA page too.
Yeah.
Michael keeps...
I really have to update that page.
Cool page.
Right. David, thanks. Candy, thank you for being with us on this show once again. And obviously we'll be looking forward to Sunday and watching you perform.
Yes, please tune in.
The SEMA concert. 8 o'clock it is.
8 p.m.
Santa Venera.
And free entrance if you'd like to come.
Everyone's free to watch it on TV, but it's even better if you're there in person, isn't it? It's always better when there's live music and live concert. It's always great to have a crowd in front of you as well.
And please, I'll just ask one more time. If it's a couple of euros, if it's 10 euros, it doesn't have to be a lot of money. Just if everybody gave a small amount to Ahla Tibasima, there'd be another child with shoes or with the immunizations that they need, or even a meal that night and a warm blanket.
Education as well.
Education, Hafna.
That's true.
Taibin Hafna.
Right, so thank you, David, once again. Thanks, Candy. And actually, I have to ask you, which song are we going to play now off your album? I'll leave the choice to you.
Oh, my. How about one for my German fan who came all the way to Malta, and my good friend Charles Fultzon, Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon.
Actually, you wouldn't believe it, but that's what I had written down and planned to play. So.
Wow, we're of the same mind.
Here we go. David J. Sherry, Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon.
Girl, you'll be a woman soon. Love you so much you can't count all the ways to die for your girl, then all they can say is he's not your kind. They never get tired of putting me down, and I never know when I come around what I'm gonna find. Don't let them make up your mind. Don't you know, girl, you'll be a woman soon. Please, come take my hand. Oh, girl, you'll be a woman soon, soon. You'll need a man. I've been misunderstood for all of my life, but what they're saying, girl, cuts like a knife. The boy's no good. Well, I finally found what I've been looking for, but if they get the chance, they'd end it for sure. Sure they would. Baby, I've done all I could. It's up to you, girl. You'll be a woman soon. Please, come take my hand. Girl, you'll be a woman soon, soon. You'll need a man. Be a woman soon. Please, come take my hand. Girl, you will be a woman soon. Soon. You will need a man. Girl, you'll be a woman soon. Please, come take my hand. Girl, you'll be a woman soon. Soon. You'll need a man. Girl, you'll need a man.
Silta oħra mek mela mill-album Glory Road li huwa l-album ta' David Sherry, David li kien għandu kien magħna fil-programm Rockna tal-lum flimkien ma' Candy Davider ukoll. Infakkarkom se jkunu qegħdin jagħtu kunċert ġewwa Santa Venera parti mill-maratona ġbir ta' fondi għal oħloq Dbissima. Aktar kmini wkoll semmejna illi se nisimgħu silta mill-album il-ġdid ta' Freddy Portelli. Fil-fatt l-album jismu Jail Maltemp u din hija it-title track ta' dak l-album.
Oqgħod attent għax Jail Maltemp żomm moħħok hemm aħsiblu lesti l-kien l-ajru qed itella sħab iswed xejn sabiħ sajjetti u beraq beda jgerger ir-rieħ il-baħar jibla l-art u kemm ikesħa kemm bar terrorizmu se ti kemm għamlu krudi fl-aħbarijiet tarom b'għajnejk iġġib għajnejk wara widnejk tħoss il-gsieħ jidħol fik u x-xemx tal-lum mbagħad tixwik ħafna kliem minn taħt l-irsin jaqgħu id-dinja waslet fit-tmiem. Reċessjoni? Gergin? Jaqgħu s-senjur qed jaħseb li sa jsir fqir. Dittaturi jerqu fl-abbuż, joqtlu nieshom, kollox diżastruż. L-aħbarijiet, il-gazzetti, kollox ħażin, kollox għallar. Fid-dinja qed jikbru fil-numru l-fqar. Ta' parsi ħanneħħu il-bombi qerrieda u għadna qalaw xi waħda għall-arrieda. Inkwiet mad-dinja kollha, tirrabja qiegħda l-folla. Pajjiżi anke bejniethom bil-ġlied, donna kull gwerra bdiet, imkien ma jeżisti l-kwiet, bir-rabja dejjem tiżdied. Fl-arja tossiċi ta' bombi u valenu, iva mangdawn u ħannaqsu għal-menu. Mhux għalhekk dan kollu, u dalwaqt se nkorru, qed noqolbu għat-tmien. Dan jidher kullum kien, kesħa bart sħana xemm sirċ uħruq, m'intix tinduna li qed noqolbu għat-tluq. Tilwim ġlied tixrid ta' dem, tsunami l-hawn u lem. Minn fejn se tibda dal-ħafna truf, nies imutu bl-eluf. Kapijiet dittaturi jaħsbu li ma jistalihom ħadd, il-poter tagħhom ma jridu jċedu qatt. Jixxerred kemm jixxerred dem, l-aqwa li għalihom ridu jibqgħu hemm. Il-baħar ħabbat mal-blat u l-ġulija donna spiċċat. Sewwa ngħidu aħna l-Maltin li xkubetta fija l-grillu u kulħadd jagħmel li jaqbillu. Sewwa kulħadd jagħmel li jaqbillu, imma mhux għad-dannu ta' ħadd ieħor. Mela mhux kulħadd irid jiekol. Taħwit fil-rjuż tad-dinja, kulħadd donnu tilef għall-linja. Il-raġunar spiċċa fil-ġemb, oqgħod attent għax ġej il-Maltin. Iva ġej il-Maltin. Exhaust, ċubliji, tħaħem fl-arja, kemm hawn minu palikarja. Oqgħod attent sieri, oqgħod attent għax ġej il-Maltin.
ROCKNA, ir-rock tagħna l-Maltin.